Welcome to The Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. It's a little bit after midnight. I'm rolled up in the bed, and y'all already know when you have stuff on your mind, you just want to share it. Oh my gosh, I'm actually yawning. It's been a long week. Lots of meetings, lots of good things coming down the road. But I wanted to share this because I think that this is a really great list. And I'm trying to see where I found this list. I think I found it on entrepreneur.com. And it's listing 20 habits that are holding you back from millionaire status. All right? So let's go through this list. They have sleeping in. Oh, God. You know, sleeping in. Okay. Weekends, I think, is great. I am really yawning, people. Oh, my gosh. What is it? I wasn't yawning all this time. Oh, my gosh. Anyway. Sleeping in, I think, on the weekends is self-care, honestly. My personal opinion on during the week, this is specifically for entrepreneurs, people who are working full-time as entrepreneurs. I think there's nothing wrong with self-care days and things like that, but if you are on the pulse of 9 to 5 business, because as an entrepreneur, you may not work a 9 to 5 job, but you are in business with 9 to 5 people. You know, many times when you're doing business with other businesses, and they work on that 9 to 5 schedule. Now, I can tell you personally, for me, I wake up between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. By the time 6 o'clock rolls around, I'm out of the bed. But I probably wake up a little bit earlier than 5:30, but I don't get out of bed before 5:30, that's for sure. But I'm definitely up and out of the bed by 6 at the latest. And the reason why I get up that early, and you're like, well, you're a full-time entrepreneur, you have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. The reason why I do is because you get so much done before the actual workday begins. So the workday gets crack-a-lacking at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I'm going by Eastern time. So the rest of the country is slowly coming together, waking up, especially by noon, because then the West Coast will have been, started their business day at 9 a.m., which is noon on the East Coast. So I tend to get up early so that I can get as much done. There goes the yawn again. I'm sorry, y'all. This is hilarious. I'm like, what is happening? Okay, anyway. I tend to get a lot done before the business day starts, because once the business day starts, immediately emails start pouring in, right? It's like a gong goes off. At 9 a.m., emails start pouring in, even more at like 10, 11 o'clock. Emails are coming in back to back. And then you get caught up in answering other people's requests, and then your own request and things that you need to push out to people ends up sometimes not getting done, or it flows into the next day, right? So I make it a point to get up and out of bed by 6 a.m. And by that time, I get my little stretches in. I'm not really a sweating, exerciser or anything like that, but I definitely get my yoga and Pilates game going. Drink some sort of shake, protein, something good like that, or yogurt and granola, or some type of trail mix or whatever. And that kind of gives me like a boost, of energy to get my day going. Sometimes coffee every now and then. Early. Usually I'm not a coffee drinker that much in the morning so much. I'm actually an afternoon coffee drinker. I love coffee in the afternoon or like late afternoons. But to get back, I get up early so that those 3 hours between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, I am getting so much work done. I'm pushing information out to people. I am emailing people things for the needs of Onyx Queen Media, right? It's not even a lot of client stuff. It's stuff that I have to do for my own business. I do have, different things, different levels, within my own business outside of my actual clientele. So I work on that stuff. Graphics for my business, videos for my business, content creation galore is happening in the wee hours of the morning. Okay. Also before 9 o'clock, for the most part, any clients that we have that we run their social medias, a lot of times we do postings for those clients who their audience is up at that time, and that's when their audience is looking at their social media. We will post to their social medias. Now there's some other clients I have, it is better to post on their social media in the afternoon or even in the evening, because that's when their crowd is up and about and watching their social media. So there's a little bit of differences there, with a few people, but that really constitutes my 6 o'clock to 9 a.m. time. Then as soon as it hits 9 a.m., 9:30 is when I start to respond to people about their needs that they have of me, or in general, my company collaborations. People are contacting me to be guests on my podcast. All sorts of things. There's, clients need flyers. Oh, they're going to be on a show next week. Oh, can I get a flyer? Oh, can you create me a cute video for this, that, or the other? Oh, could you please look at this, listen to this audio and can you edit it for me? There's all sorts of things that's going on. Okay. And that pretty much takes up most of the day. And in between all of those projects, I'm doing meetings, right? We haven't quite got back to doing in-person meetings. I think that's probably going to change. I would say more towards, not even so much the summer, but maybe into the fall, is when I feel more comfortable with this. And yeah, so there's all different types of Zoom meetings happening, all this sort of thing. So everything gets wrapped up for me most of the time by about 7:30 of responding to people and getting stuff done. Now, the work doesn't finish. I'm still working on things, but I tend not to respond to anything after, I would say 7:30. And I'm not doing it to be rude. I'm doing it because I'm putting up a boundary on, what needs to happen, because if you let people contact you at 10 o'clock at night, it's going to happen all the time. So I try to keep a boundary with that. So I am not a fan of the sleeping in type of thing. Every now and then, if you're taking a self-care day, nobody's saying you can't take a self-care day, but sleeping in, not my forte. Okay, second thing is neglecting your health. This is a big one. This is definitely a big one. I have been a failed at this many times, neglecting my health and not really getting on track and getting those good fruits and vegetables in the diet, a good, supplement or whatever. But I'm getting back, on the train with that, with the yoga and stretching, and it definitely does make a difference. Get the blood flowing, all of that. Remembering to get up and walk around if you're a person that, is sitting most of the day. And this is even for my 9-to-5ers as well. Get up and walk around. Don't just sit in one spot for hours and hours. So, we definitely have to, look at our health and make sure that we're not neglecting it. All right, the third thing is not reading. Now, I will tell you, I learned so much from reading. I come from a family of readers. We read, we research. That's just who we are as a family. I love reading. My background, of course, in journalism and media and communications, reading is essential. But it also expands your mind. I'm always reading something. I have at least 2 books that I'm reading at a time. And it just depends. Like during the week, it's more of the business type book, and on the weekends, it's a little bit more relaxed as far as, what I'm reading at that time, right? Okay, so reading expands your mind, I'm telling you. Get some good books. And even if you're not reading the book, like thumbing through the book, do audiobooks. I love audiobooks. I'm actually reading a physical book and then have an audiobook going on. It's amazing. Okay, the fourth thing is relying on one income. Now, this is a very tough thing. As entrepreneurs, we can get sucked into one way of doing things all the time, and you have to be careful that you don't get stuck in the rut. Create other streams of income for yourself, just like this podcast. I did not think this podcast was going to be an actual, stream of income or whatever, but if you work at it and you develop that thing, whatever it is that you want to do, see how you can monetize it. And make sure so that when one stream of income goes away, which is exactly what happened during the pandemic, I couldn't do any events. What events were happening? Everything was shut down for, close to a year, so definitely be brainstorming about different streams of income. Having no budget. Yes, definitely budget. Even if you are already a millionaire, have a budget and know where you're spending and what is taking, from your bottom line. Because when you have, no budget, you don't know what's coming and going, so definitely finances, managing that well is very helpful. Careless spending, that goes right along with managing the budget. You should know where things are going, because quite honestly, so much money gets wasted on stuff that we just don't need because we're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and it just doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. We've had enough examples of people who have been horrible financial, with their financials. We've had enough experience. We've had enough examples that we should get back on the good foot with that. In with the wrong crowd. Well, you know what? This tends to be a thing. And I know this is a big thing on the social media front. You want to be in with these people so bad, but they're not good people. But they're seen everywhere. Not every circle is for you. You know what I'm saying? Not every friendship is for you, even though they seem like they're in and on the scene and they're on television and they're doing this, that, and the other. You don't know what kind of devil they're paying in the background that may become a part of your life and start dragging you down. It's not just about being seen, it's having integrity too, right? Okay. Next thing is drinking. Oh boy, drinking and gambling. This, I would say, in moderation. I'm not a big drinker. I'm not even a person that buys alcohol and keeps it in the house like that. It's so rare for me. But it can definitely get out of control quick. because you buy that 6-pack of beer, and then the next week, I'm gonna buy a 12-pack, and then it turns into a whole case, and it can get out of control. I actually had a wine subscription at one time, and I felt like I was consuming like everything was a glass of wine. I said, you know what? We ain't gonna start a habit where there is none, right? So I canceled that subscription. I said, this should not be an everyday thing. This should be something that is special. I wanted to treat that as a special thing, right? Gambling, listen, we were Vegas people and Atlantic City people, our friendship group, all of that. You have to be smart about what you're doing. When you go, say, okay, this weekend I'm only going to spend XYZ, and that's it. And when that's done, it's done. But a lot of people have these impulses, and they have this thing where they just need to, be involved in this. You're going to have to put some type of, it's about boundaries. It's about boundaries and everything in moderation. But those two go together. Why do you think when you go to the casinos that they keep giving you free drinks as you're gambling? Because they want you to stay and keep your butt in the seat, to keep feeding the machines with money. People, pay attention. All right, too much TV. Now, let me tell you something. This is something that I have dealt with personally. I do not watch a lot of television. I know people are like, how can you not watch TV? You're in the media field. Listen, online will give you everything that you need. I can go literally months without turning on my television. And anyone who knows me personally knows that this is very true. I went without cable for well over a year, several years ago. And I was like, because I didn't need it. I didn't miss it. There was nothing that I was missing. All the shows that were coming on, I could go online and watch them. I mean, it was just too easy. I have no problem with keeping out the television. I'm not consuming all of this war stuff with Ukraine. I'm just not doing it. I wasn't even watching the Oscars. I didn't watch it until I saw a post with somebody saying, oh my gosh, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. And I'm like, what? And that's when I went to Twitter and I saw the video, because I was not even tuned into the show. Okay? So yeah, TV is definitely a time suck. Yes, there are great television shows. DVR them. I don't know when a lot of shows come on. I DVR them and I watch them later, because I don't even know when they come on. You know what I mean? So yeah, consuming too much TV. First of all, there's so much brainwashing happening on television too. And you start to change your focus on a lot of things, and not making decisions for yourself. So yeah, be moderate with the television stuff as well. Okay. Let's see. What's this next one? No mentor. Oh, this is so important. This is super, super important. If you don't have a mentor, if you don't have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of, who has been there, done that, and you are now walking right behind them in their footsteps, let me tell you something. Get yourself a great mentor. Somebody that'll tell you the truth. Somebody that will, give you advice and, lead you in the right direction. Because when you're just out here floundering, it's very tough. But then sometimes there's a lot of entrepreneurs who think they know everything. Let me tell you something. I've been in this game a long time and I know a lot, but there's so much I don't know. And I absolutely love my mentors. I have a few that I can call on and I can send an email to, can you guide me through such and such, or point me in the right direction, whatever the case may be, because they know I hustle hard for my business and my clients. So yeah, get yourself a good mentor. If you're having trouble finding a mentor, you can actually go on the small business website. So SBA.gov, and you can actually find mentor programs on their website. So if you don't know anybody or trust anybody around you in your life, you can actually, they will give you a mentor through the SBA. Okay, next thing is staying in your comfort zone. Oh God, do we really have to harp on this? Listen, staying in your comfort zone is not going to do anything for you to expand your mind, your business, your finances. If you stay in your comfort zone, that is exactly what it's going to be. comfortable. And when you grow and when you expand, it is uncomfortable. And that means it's working. That means you're moving in the right direction. So get out of your comfort zone. Not asking questions. Goes back again to the thing of the entrepreneurs who think they know everything. If you don't ask questions, how do you learn? How do you learn if you don't ask? It baffles me when people, they say, well, do you have any questions for anything? No, I got everything I need. And then next thing you know, they don't have everything they need. Then they want to be peppering you with all of these conversations later on. It's like, well, weren't you listening to the master class when we had it the week before? Apparently not. Because now we got to put it into action, and now you haven't retained anything. Ask questions. Be curious. Learn. That's how we learn. Consumed by failure. Listen, there's no such thing in my book. This is how I look at it. There's no such thing as failure. It's called failing forward. Every time you fail, it means you tried. People are like, yeah, I never tried that. Oh, yeah, I didn't really want to do that. Why? Because you're afraid of failing? I would rather you have a million fails than you having not tried at all. I have so much respect for failure in business because it means that you took a chance. Okay? What's the next thing? Neglecting small costs. Okay, y'all. Y'all don't need that Starbucks every single morning. It may just seem like it's $4 or $5, but it adds up. It adds up over time. So be careful. That goes back into the finances. Be careful what you're spending your money on. Okay? No daily goals. Let me tell you what I do each night. This is just me. It's up to you how you want to do it. But each night before I go to bed, I write down, well, actually, I would say I type into my computer all of the things that I want to accomplish. These are the short-term goals, right? These are the short-term goals, the things that I want to accomplish for that week, that month, and even going up into the year. But I have daily things that I set for myself that I need to get done. Try it. Type it right into your calendar on your computer or even in your phone, and then put a reminder that it pops up. Hey, I need to do this. I want to accomplish this today, whatever it is. And I'm telling you, if you start to keep track of stuff, you will see how much you finish, and you'll also see how much you don't finish as well. The next thing is negative thinking. Yeah, we got to get rid of the negative thinking. It's called self-care of the mind. I do not want to be around people that are constantly talking about the woes of life. Get thee behind me. I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? You have a few minutes to sulk and then we're moving on. You know what I mean? And honestly, this is just regular situations. I'm not talking about if you've had loss in your life and all of that. Just let's be clear. Let's be smart. But constant negative thinking and how things can go wrong. But what if they go well? You think of all the things that go wrong. Think of all the things that go well. Yeah, negative thinking, gotta get rid of it. No assets. Oh, Lord. This is another one. If you have the opportunity to buy a nice home, that is going to be an asset. That is something that's going to appreciate over time, especially if you do all the little touches and everything to improve the spot, whether it's a condo or a full-on house. Make sure you have assets. Look into assets and don't be foolish out here. Do your homework. This is number 18, making excuses. Oh, you always know the people that got excuses about why they didn't do this or why they didn't do that or how come or why come. Listen, if you're going to come with all the excuses, stay home. That's all. No 70-30 rule. The 70-30 rule. I know people have different takes on the 70-30 rule, but for me, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of what I don't know. It depends on how you do your finances, because the 70/30 rule basically is when it's like a technique to budget your money, right? What you're doing is you're taking 70% of the money that you earn, right? And the money that you'll be spending. So that's the things that go to essentials. That's your rent, that's your mortgage, that's your bills, even the things that you like to do, getting your nails done, your hair done, haircuts, things like that. And then 30% of your money that you earn will go towards your savings. So let me tell you, I don't do the 70/30. I actually have a breakdown, and I'm trying to think of where it is right now to give you the actual percentages that I do. But I think 70% is a major chunk. Is a major, major chunk. But that, I think, is more of an opinion. So maybe I won't give my opinion on that. But I think that 70/30 is... I definitely don't agree with that either. And the final one is procrastination. Oh my Lord. Procrastination catches me so much. Well, not as much now, but it used to. And I think a lot of procrastination comes from fear. This is not going to work out. This may not work out. This may not go the way as planned. So we keep procrastinating. We keep putting it off because we figure, oh, am I going to put all this work in and then it's not going to work? Listen, just do it. Just do it. Do it scared. Do it mad. Do it sad. Do it glad. You know what I'm saying? Stop procrastinating and get your dreams out. That was the name of, wasn't that the name of a record label? I thought that was maybe Kanye's label. Their label was Good, GOOD. I think it was it him or was that Common? Somebody, but it was GOOD, getting out our dreams, just putting it out there, manifesting all of the goodness that is to come to you. And I know people have this thing with manifesting. Oh, you don't believe in God if it's manifestation. Look, God has put people in our lives to help us manifest all of what He has for us. So procrastination, it's a tough thing to overcome, but it'll be one of the top. I think procrastination tops all these things on this list, because procrastination will have you losing bags left and right. It really will. It really will. And doubt, self-fear, doubt, imposter syndrome, all of that causes heavy procrastination. So let me tell you, this was a pretty good list of things. I'm gonna figure out what my financial rules are, and maybe I'll come back again and talk about that in another episode, because I need to find it, because I don't want to say what the percentages are, because I think I actually moved it around not too long ago. So when I find where I wrote it, I'll mention it on here. But yeah, you guys, and there's room for everybody. And don't think you can't be a millionaire, because you can. Very easily. Well, let me not say very easily. Not very easily. You can make $1 million. You can have $1 million net worth. You absolutely can do it. It is possible. Trust me when I tell you it's possible. But you got to do the work. You got to do the work, and you got to kick a lot of these things on this list out of your life. A lot, because these are the things that could be holding you back from that next level. And you could be right there, right on the cusp of just this amazing life, where you have worked so hard for. And then procrastination sets in and we give up. We don't budget properly, so we blow the bag when we're not supposed to. We think we know everything and we don't have a mentor. We sit and consume everything in front of the TV. We take those extra earnings that we have and we go gamble. So many things on this list keep us from where we need to be, right? or where we would like to be. So I hope that helps somebody out there. I saw this list and I said, you know what? It's so helpful. It was very helpful to me. I actually screenshot it and I keep it in my phone. So hopefully this was helpful to you. If you have anything that you want to mention to me, talk to me about, ask a question so that I can cover that question on this very podcast, please email me hello@onyxqueenmedia.com. And if you want to follow me on socials, at Onyx Queen Media. Okay? Instagram is my most active. Like, share, subscribe to this podcast, and when you do, tag me on Instagram so I can repost you in my stories for a shout out. All right, you guys, I'm signing off for the night. It's going on 1:00 a.m. I bid you adieu. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, you guys. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.